I'd like to give a short talk, and the title of the talk today is Satipatthana. That's this practice that we've been doing. Satipatthana, one of life's most important tasks. So this type of meditation is very important to us. How do we know something is important to do? This is the question. So we can consider one of life's most important tasks to see what are its characteristics. And if we think about breathing fresh air, this must be one of the most important things that we have to do. So why is it so important to breathe fresh air? First of all, it is something that must be done. We can't not do it. So if we breathe fresh air, we have good health. But if we don't breathe fresh air, then we don't feel well if we breathe polluted air, and if we are deprived of breath, we'll die. So breathing fresh air is something that must be done, and we cannot not do it. The second characteristic is that we have to do it ourselves. No one else can breathe fresh air for us. We have to do it ourselves. So many things we do in life we can ask somebody else to do for us, even things that involve large amounts of money. But breathing fresh air is something that no one else can do for you. And it is something that needs to be done in time and regularly. If we don't breathe regularly, we won't feel good. If we don't do it, again, if we stop breathing, then we eventually die. We die quickly from not breathing. And it brings great benefit. This is the fourth characteristic of an important task. Breathing fresh air gives us good health, and with good health we can accomplish things that we want to do in our life. So it's very important to breathe fresh air, and doing so brings great benefit. So this is the last characteristic of something that is very important in our lives. So we can say that the practice of meditation, Satipatthana meditation, is like bringing fresh air to the mind. It has to be done. If we don't do it, our mind is experiencing stale air all the time. So we should do meditation. We shouldn't fail to do it. And everybody here has come to meditate. So I think we can say that people here consider meditation important and understand also the second quality of it. You have to do it yourself. No one can meditate for you. Of course, it would be good if our teachers could meditate for us or our parents, but it's not possible. We have to do it ourselves. And that's why people come to retreats, because they know they have to do it themselves. Satipatthana meditation is also something that we need to do on time, that is before we die. And everybody here recognizes this fact, because everyone here has come to meditate. So we need to do it on time, but we also need to do it regularly. So that means to continue the practice in our daily life. Not only do people, it's good to do it daily in our lives, but also to do it regularly each year for a certain amount of time. So that's the third characteristic, that we have to do it in time before we die, before we're too sick or too old to do it, and we also need to do it regularly. And doing so brings great benefits, starting with purity of mind. When we have a pure, untroubled mind, we can accomplish what we want to in life. So this is why Satipatthana can be viewed as one of the most important things we need to do in life, because it has these characteristics. It must be done. We can't not do it. We have to do it ourselves. We have to do it on time and regularly, and it brings great benefit. And just as breathing fresh air brings benefit to anyone, no matter what their nationality is, no matter what their religious belief is, so too Satipatthana practice is something that can benefit all of us, regardless of our nationality, regardless of gender, regardless of our religious belief, regardless of our race. So it can truly be said to be an important thing to do. And no one loses by doing it. People can only benefit from doing it. So I encourage you all to continue your practice at home. Come for retreats regularly, whether it's coming to daily retreats that are offered in your area once a week or once a month. And further, people may ask questions if they like. If anybody has any questions, please feel free.
How can we practically practice in daily life? Mm-hmm. How is it possible to...
Well, just like we keep the precepts here when we come on retreat, first thing is to not neglect the precepts, to keep a minimum of 5 precepts. And if you find that you break them, just retake them. So these are the foundation for our mind to become stable. And then, as you've learned the method of meditation, you should find a place in your home where you can be undisturbed for, if you can do it for an hour a day, it's good. But it depends on what you're able to do, because if it's not possible for you to take an hour, then you should set some time, like 15 minutes or 10 minutes, that you can do regularly, and then do the meditation practices as you've learned it. You can do walking meditation before sitting also. So, and then to do loving kindness meditation every day in the morning for yourself, for your parents, for your family, for your relatives, and for all beings. So this helps us to be in the world without difficulties. It minimizes difficulties to establish an attitude of loving kindness. So for loving kindness meditation, perhaps we could just practice that so I can explain what I mean is to say, for example, just every day 3 times, and perhaps you can translate this into Flemish for the children.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Okay, because it's very helpful in our lives to do loving kindness meditation. So first, I'd like towards yourself, and we do this by just repeating. Say it right now. Please say after me. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. Can you?
May I be well, happy, and peaceful.
3 times. Say it 3 times.
May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May I be well, happy, and peaceful.
In French? You want to do French and then Flemish? And next is, may my parents be well, happy, and peaceful.
Okay.
You can just say in French and then Flemish. Same time. And then may my family be well, happy, and peaceful. And then may my relatives be well, my grandfamily.
Yeah. Does it include the friends?
Yeah, okay. You can say friends and relatives.
Okay.
Yeah. And the last one is easy. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. So this is only 15 sentences to say in the morning. So I hope everyone will say these sentences and start their day with a good feeling towards themselves and all beings. And I forgot to mention one thing, which is if your parents are not alive, then you omit if your mother only is alive, then you say, may my mother be well, happy, and peaceful. If only your father is alive, you say, may my father. If neither of them are alive, then you simply omit them, because it is not the custom to do loving kindness meditation towards dead people. Any other questions?
how can we know, how can we understand whether we made progress in the practice after a 15 days retreat that was very demanding?
The yogis shouldn't really be concerned about progress. But if you are noting and knowing in any given moment, then you are progressing. If you are not noting and knowing in any given moment, then you are not progressing. So as far as, during intensive practice, for progress to occur, it happens when we note and know each moment. But there's many ways to kind of think about this. The fact that all of you are still here and still meditating is a sign that it is beneficial to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. So I think it's more helpful to see, is it beneficial, than to think about, am I progressing?
So I'm first going to translate this in English. So this retreat comes to an end, and it's been successful. And we owe this, first of all, to Siale, who led the retreat. And I want to thank you, in the name of the Dhamma group, I want to thank Siale, because she's very faithful to the center. She came here for the first time in 2014 with Sayadaw Uttuzana, and gave her very first talk, Sandush Dhamma talk. There was a very first talk here in this center, and Uttuzana was present then. Then in 2015 there was the pre-retreat of Sayadaw Uttuzana, and then starting from 2017, every year Siale has led her own retreat. So I want to thank Siale because of her very accurate teaching, very appropriate for the yogis, very adapted to their needs, and very accurate with regard to the technique of meditation. Also, I want to thank her because she's very committed to the progress of the yogis. She really takes a lot of trouble to help them, and she gives specific advices with a vast range of solutions for different kinds of problems that they encounter. So it was very useful for me to be present at these interviews. Also, I think Siale is very flexible with the yogis. She can adapt to maybe a more Western mentality. So it's worth also saying that Siale went to Brussels on Thursday, and there were 22 people participating in the teaching she gave there. So I'm going to say this in English first. This retreat is also a success, of course, because of the 30 yogis who came here and who made the effort to practice every day, every hour, trying to be mindful every moment, and who brought their practice to completion. They kept their commitment. They stayed until the end for most of them. There were more people in the first week, and also there were quite a lot of beginners this year. So sometimes they didn't really know how to behave, but on the whole, it went on smoothly. It was a success. We had also Dutch people and French people from different countries. So I translate this last bit in English and then I'm done. So this retreat is also a success, of course, thanks to the many helpers who came here, some for short periods, some for longer periods, like for example Joseph, who came for more than a week, and who is very committed, very imaginative to solve all kinds of problems, always trying to improve the center. There is Louis, there is Cornel. They make a nice team together. They work well together. Peter, Linda, and then also the Burmese people, Sandra, Kintida, who made the Bhojana Dana, the gift of the meal. And we like to have Burmese people here because it keeps the link with the East living. with the Burmese tradition. So there were 6 chefs, 4 petites mains, 4 intendants, and 3 hôteliers who helped for this retreat. There were also the coordinators, Laurent, Christine, and Claude. And last but not least, Evie, who is making a short movie to promote the center.
From yogis and volunteers.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
We don't have such beautiful things in America. At least not easily. So, we also should share our merits. Right?
But first there is another small present for you, CLA.
Oh, that's right. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you be well and happy and warm. Warm as I go to Chicago. Will be very helpful. So whenever we do good things, I mean, now today we've had the chance to do all 3 good things. You know, the acts of giving, generosity, both giving service, giving Dhamma talks, giving materially, and then sila, morality, we've all taken the precepts, and bhavana, meditation. So whenever we do good things, we are earning merits, just like we earn interest when we put money in the bank. So we can share that goodness, these merits, with others without reducing our share. So this is always a good thing to do. So and then we do that, you know, for using the Pali formula, or in
yes, which formula?
Well, in the book that we have, we do it every day when we say, you know, we make aspirations that surely with this practice of ours, we may become free of aging, sickness, and death. May this merit of ours be for the destruction of the asavas, and may the sila that we keep, be for realization of path and fruition. But the last one, where we share, those are our intentions for our good deeds. But the main one to share the merits is imang no punya bhagang sabasatanantema sabe sata sukita huntu. The last 2.
But shall we recite all of them or just the last 2?
We can recite all of them.
All the intentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So still 10 minutes for photo.
On a encore 10 minutes pour la photo de groupe maintenant.
And there is also a talk that I translated from Sayadaw U Pandita, and we have copies of the booklet in English, not in French, but in English and in Dutch. So I would like to give these to whoever would like to have a copy. So I will stand here, and then anyone who wants one can just come and.
Okay.